American icons, Ford and John Deere. For over a century, these names have been synonymous with American innovation and resilience. They have not only shaped industries, but have also become an integral part of the American identity. Ford, John Deere, two titans that have endured economic upheavals and technological advancements. These iconic brands symbolize innovation and hard work. Their assembly lines have been the backbone of American manufacturing, producing products that have defined generations. For generations, they embodied the American dream. Families gathered around their Ford cars, and farmers relied on John Deere equipment to cultivate their lands. These brands were more than just companies. They were a part of the American family. They built our cars. They helped us farm our land. From bustling cities to quiet countrysides, their impact was felt everywhere. They provided jobs for millions. These jobs were not just a means to an end. They were a source of pride and stability for countless American families. But now, these giants are leaving America. The once bustling factories are now eerily silent, and the gates that once welcomed thousands of workers now stand closed. They are relocating their operations overseas. The machinery that once powered American dreams is being packed up and shipped to distant shores. What does this mean for our country? What does this mean for you? The ripple effects of these decisions are felt far and wide, leaving communities in distress and families uncertain about their future. Ford and John Deere's departure is a blow to the heart of America. The landscapes that once thrived with activity now stand as silent reminders of what once was. It's a sign of the times: globalization, corporate greed, the relentless pursuit of profit at the expense of the very people who built these companies from the ground up. The decline of American manufacturing. The once mighty assembly lines now stand still, a testament to a bygone era. These companies claim they are seeking cheaper labor and lower taxes. They argue that these moves are necessary for their survival in a competitive global market. But the real cost is paid by American workers. The men and women who dedicated their lives to these companies are now left to pick up the pieces. Their livelihoods are being shipped overseas. The sense of community and purpose that these jobs provided is being dismantled piece by piece. Their dreams are being shattered. The American dream, once a beacon of hope and possibility, now seems like a distant memory for many. As we look back on the legacy of Ford and John Deere, we are reminded of their contributions to our society. They were more than just companies. They were symbols of what America could achieve. But even in these challenging times, the spirit of the American worker remains unbroken. Communities are coming together, finding new ways to adapt and thrive. New businesses are emerging, driven by the same spirit of innovation and hard work that once defined Ford and John Deere. The American dream is evolving, but it is far from over. The story of Ford and John Deere is a chapter in the larger narrative of America. A story of resilience, adaptation, and the unyielding pursuit of a better future. The American dream lives on, in every worker, every community, and every new beginning. The Exodus. Why did they leave? This question has been haunting communities across America. Once bustling factories now stand silent, their gates closed, and their floors empty. The departure of these companies has left a void that is hard to fill. Ford and John Deere claim they had no choice. They argue that the decision to leave was driven by necessity, not desire. According to them, the economic landscape has changed dramatically. They say they needed to stay competitive. In a global market, they contend, staying ahead means making tough decisions. They point to the need for efficiency and cost-cutting measures. They point to rising costs in America. Operational expenses have skyrocketed, they say, making it difficult to maintain profitability. They blame government regulations, which they claim have become increasingly burdensome. But is that the whole story? Some investigative journalists and analysts are not convinced. They suggest that there might be more to this narrative than meets the eye. Or is it something more sinister? Could there be hidden motives and undisclosed reasons behind these relocations? The shadowy world of corporate decision-making often leaves much to the imagination. Critics argue that these companies are putting profits before people. They believe that the primary motivation is not survival, but greed. Activists and former employees have voiced their concerns loudly. They say that Ford and John Deere are exploiting loopholes in the system. Legal experts point out that these corporations are adept at navigating the complex web of regulations to their advantage. They are moving their operations to countries with weak labor laws and environmental protections. In these places, they can operate with fewer restrictions and lower costs, often at the expense of workers' rights and environmental health. They are dodging taxes and maximizing their bottom line. Offshore accounts and tax havens are tools in their arsenal, allowing them to keep more of their profits while contributing less to the public coffers. And who pays the price? The American worker. The communities that once thrived on these jobs are now struggling. Families are facing financial hardships, and the ripple effects are felt far and wide. The exodus of these companies has left a lasting impact, raising questions about the true cost of globalization and corporate strategy. Trump's fury, tariffs, and threats. Donald Trump is furious. He promised to bring back American jobs. He vowed to punish companies that moved overseas. And now, two of America's biggest names are turning their backs on him. Trump is threatening to unleash a wave of tariffs on Ford and John Deere products. He is calling for boycotts. He is ranting and raving on Twitter. But will it make a difference? Or is it just empty rhetoric? Economic earthquake. The aftershocks. Ford and John Deere's departure is sending shockwaves through the American economy. Thousands of jobs are lost. Communities are devastated. The ripple effects are felt across the country. The loss of these iconic brands is a major blow to American manufacturing. It sends a signal to other companies that it's okay to abandon America. It weakens our economy and makes us more vulnerable to foreign competition. Section 5. Political firestorm. Public outrage. The public is outraged. People are angry at Ford and John Deere. They are angry at the government. They feel betrayed by the system. Protests are erupting across the country. People are demanding action. They want to know why the government isn't doing more to protect American jobs. They want to know why corporations are allowed to get away with this. Section 6. The future of American jobs. A grim outlook. The future of American jobs is uncertain. Globalization and automation are changing the nature of work. Manufacturing jobs are disappearing. And it's not just blue-collar workers who are affected. White-collar jobs are also at risk. Artificial intelligence is automating tasks that were once done by humans. The skills gap is widening, and millions of Americans are being left behind. Section 7. Trade wars, a new era? Ford and John Deere's exodus could spark a new era of trade wars. Trump's protectionist policies are already creating tensions with other countries. And if he follows through on his threats of tariffs, it could trigger a global trade war. Trade wars hurt everyone. They raise prices for consumers. They disrupt supply chains. And they damage the global economy. Is this really the path we want to go down? Section 8. Conclusion. A nation divided. Ford and John Deere's decision to leave America is a symptom of a deeper problem. It's not just about the loss of jobs or the closure of factories. It's about the erosion of the American dream and the growing chasm between the rich and the poor. Our country is divided. Our economy is rigged against the working class. The gap between the wealthy and the poor has never been wider. While some live in luxury, others struggle to make ends meet. This disparity is not just an economic issue, it's a moral one. And our leaders seem unable or unwilling to fix it. Political gridlock and partisan bickering have paralyzed our government. Instead of working together to find solutions, our leaders are more interested in scoring political points. This dysfunction leaves ordinary Americans feeling frustrated and powerless. We need to decide what kind of country we want to be. Do we want to continue down this path of division and inequality? Or do we want to come together to build a more just and equitable society? The choice is ours, and it starts with each of us taking action in our communities. Do we want to be a nation where corporations put profits before people? Where the bottom line is more important than the well-being of our citizens? Or do we want to hold these corporations accountable and ensure they contribute to the common good? Or do we want to be a nation where everyone has a fair shot at the American dream? A place where hard work and determination are rewarded, and where everyone, regardless of their background, has the opportunity to succeed. The choice is ours. It's time to take a stand and decide what kind of future we want for ourselves and for generations to come.